Welcome to the Getting Started video of PropertyZar. In this tutorial, we will be covering things like logging in, your support options, and some of the basics just to get you started. You will have already been given a username and a password when you either began your trial or your subscription. If at any point you need to reset your password, you have that option by clicking Next and then click Forgot Password here. This will send you an email with a reset password link. If you do not see this email, make sure to check your spam. The recommended browsers we suggest is Chrome and Edge. Safari is not supported. Once you log in, you will be brought to your dashboard. With your PropertyZar subscription, you are given 4 apps. The PZ Tenant app, which allows tenants to log in and make payments. The PZ Owner app, which gives them access to reports and stuff like their vacancies. The PZ Inspection app, which you can use to inspect properties and run reports. And the PZ Vendor app, that can be used by your vendors to submit work orders and things like that. Now let's discuss some of the support options. Upon your subscription, you will receive an email from your account manager. In that email, you will be provided documents that walk you through some of the basics. The documents will look something like this. These will be showing you step by step on how to do processes such as setting up management fees. You will also be provided a training schedule and a Getting Started FAQs. This will give you an outline of what our typical training looks like and what topics are covered on each training. Be sure to look at that. Now let's discuss some of the support options. We're going to come up to the question mark icon at the top right-hand corner. You have an option to book an appointment. This will bring you to a screen that allows you to select what time slot and what type works best for you, as well as the date and time below. Another resource we have are FAQs and training videos. To access both of those, we'll come back to the question mark icon, and let's take a look at FAQs first. The FAQs are grouped by type. On the left-hand side, you will see accounting, applications, and so forth. If you have a question about accounting, click on this, and you will be provided with several questions and answers. If you need to know how to set up late fees, you can come over here to the right, click How do I set up late fees, and you will be provided with an answer below. The other support option we have is PSU University, which is our videos. To access those, we're going to go to the question mark and go down to PSU University. This is also grouped by type. On the left-hand side, you will see several groups. Again, if we want to stick with accounting, we'll click here, and you will be provided with several training videos related to accounting. Now let's discuss some of the setup options. We're going to go back to the dashboard. All of your settings can be accessed under this gear icon. Once we click on that, you will see several tabs at the top. The subscriber information is everything about you. You can go down to Other Settings. If you are an enterprise customer, you do have the option of selecting your colors here for your main page, as well as uploading a logo. Once you have filled out all the information, come down and click Save. Next, we have accounting. This is going to be where you set up things like your default bank account, where all rent will be deposited, your financial start date, application fees, and so forth. Below that, you will see the section of setting up management fees. We do have a separate video and manual discussing how to set those up in detail. The next tab is late fees. Users. This is where you will be setting up and adding and deleting users. These users will show people that can log into the system, tenant logins for tenant app in their portal, owners, and vendors. To create a new user, simply click New User at the top right corner. You will put in the first name, last name, email address, and the preferred password. Phone number is optional, but this is used for sending reminders for things like appointments and tasks. You will see several checkboxes here below: subscription admin, subscription user, accounting user, and accounting admin. The difference is the subscription admin has full access to the system. The subscription user only has access to everything except accounting. They can receive payments though. They also cannot delete any records. The accounting user only has access to accounting, but they cannot delete. The accounting admin only has access to accounting, but they can delete. Once you have created your new users, you can click Save. You can have as many admins as you want. It is not limited to one. We're going to go back to the gear icon and continue here. Stripe is next. This is where you will be setting up your receiving account for application fees. This is only needed if you choose to use our internal application. The other option is, through background screenings, you have the option of using Tenant Magic. Tenant Magic runs the background screening and the application at the same time, so the payment will not be processed through PropertyZar, it will be processed through Tenant Magic by the tenant. The other option is our internal background screening as well. There is a document explaining the differences of these in a little bit more detail, so be sure to review that. eDocuments is going to be where you can connect with .loop. This is our electronic document. This will allow you to get signatures on leases and documents as well. Automation is things that you want the system to do for you, somewhat behind the scenes. You can email owner statements. You can syndicate your properties. You can get notified when tenants make payments through the application. You can send upcoming invoice reminders via either email or a text message. And you can create monthly management invoices automatically. The email template does allow you to create email templates that can be used in the communications. Application questions. This will also only be used if you decide to use our internal application instead of Tenant Magic. The application is standard, but we do allow you to add additional questions that you either choose to make required or not. Move-out charges. These allow you to add specific charges during a move-out without creating additional invoices. QuickBooks. We do offer you to use QuickBooks instead of our internal accounting if you already are using QuickBooks. And this is for the web version of QuickBooks only. Now that we have discussed some of the settings, let's talk about banking for a minute. To add your bank accounts to be able to receive rent, you're going to go to Accounting on the left. We will then go to Chart of Accounts at the top right-hand corner. We're going to click New. The account type is going to be Bank, and then you will put in your account name. If this bank account will be used to accept rent payments into it and also to pay owners out of this account, you will choose Bambora. If this is a subscriber account, again for rent to be automatically deposited into that account, you will choose Subscriber. If rent payments go directly to the owner and not to the subscriber, you will do the same thing except for clicking Owner here. If you click Owner, you will then have an option to select that specific owner. Once you click Continue here, it will bring you through several screens for a wizard to help you set up that bank account. Once completed, that account will be reviewed and approved within 1 to 2 business days. For owner accounts that are simply receiving accounts from you to them, meaning that if you want to pay the owner directly, but rent is not automatically being deposited into their account, you will set them up as a manual payment. You will click Manual Payment here, Owner, and select your owner. The only information needed from there is the name on the account, routing, and account number. Once these accounts are set up and approved, you will be able to receive rent electronically and pay out to your owners. The tenant will be able to add their own bank account on their app or their portal. The next thing I want to draw your attention to is our available reports. If we go down to reports at the bottom, you will see a list over here. If I click on financial reports, we have several reports here that you can use. For this one, I will show you the owner statement. So we're going to go down to owner reports on the left-hand side, and we're going to click on owner statement here. You will begin by putting in your date range. I'm going to use a broad one just for the example, and select your owner from the list. You do have the option of hiding late fees and including reserve details. Once you click View Report, you will see some information here. It does break it out by property and shows rent paid, expenses paid, and owner draws and management fees received by the owner. Now let's talk about putting in some information. Over here on the left, you will follow these in order. You will begin by clicking on Owners and adding your owners here. You can click New Owner and add all the information. Once that is done, you have the option of adding a building and or a property. The difference between the both is a property is a single unit, and a building is something that has multiple units within it. An example of a building would be an entire apartment complex or an entire retail center. Within that building, you will have multiple units. So if you had your building as the 1, 2, 3 building, each individual property or unit underneath that would be the individual apartments. To add a new building, click New Building up at the top right-hand corner, add the information and save. While adding a building, you do have the option of adding a property here. You can add as many as you would like here. Notice that the owner name is required. This is why we do those in order on the left-hand side. If you have a property that does not belong to a building, such as a single-family home, you will simply add this as a property. Go to Properties on the left and click New Property at the top right-hand corner. You will then continue to put all this information here in. This information is used when syndicating properties. The next is tenants. This is where you can add tenants by clicking New Tenant at the top right-hand corner. You do have the option of filtering the status by using this filter option at the top. If I wanted to see only my current tenants, I can select this filter and only my current tenants show with their balance and their last payment. Next is applicants. This will show you all applicants. It will also allow you to print on the right-hand side and view their entire application submitted. When a potential applicant fills out their application online, it is automatically pulled into PropertyZar as an applicant. You can then review that and then change their status from applicant to current tenant or approved. Below that is leases. This is where you will be creating your lease with the property and or building, the tenant, start and end date, the amount of rent, and additional roommates. The rest of the information will be covered in training in a little bit more detail, but I hope this helps you get started. We look forward to working with you.